Okay, so you can see that I got quite a few of these done. I started putting a few together because I got ahead of myself. These were the ones I was showing you uh, that I was using the triangular file on. You can see that I just used used my knife to. Oh yeah, I had to start using my knife because even though I just had to run out and get new batteries for that thing, it just crapped out on me. So challenge accepted. I'm gonna do it all with my hobby knife over there. But you see, I just started like kind of chipping it up and making it look like it's worn and all that craziness. I did some raised areas back here because I realized if I do them on the ground and I need to make a stairway leading up, it's going to be kind of counterproductive. So another great thing, and I'll be showing you how to do that right now, although it's really the easiest thing in the world, is creating separate platforms so I can work on those over here and not on top of the main project, so I don't interfere with the larger columns. And and I can work on them separately and then glue them in place when I'm ready to start working on the stairs. So when I'm doing all the tiles and stalactites and broken rocks and all that crap, it will be easier for me to do. This is pretty universal for anything you do. I mean, if you're working on like a big table of stuff, it works well to make everything independent and static. I'm sorry, and not static. Static means it's glued in place, like some of these things will be. So working on them independently, so you can move them around and then glue them in place when you're done, or whatever you need to do. So what I'm going to be doing right now, and again, bear with the phone of the setting down over here, is I'm going to be taking some of these. I made a separate one. I labeled them, like I said before, for archway, and I'm going to be gluing these down. I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but for any of you who have never done anything like this before, hopefully it will be vaguely helpful. Try to prop my phone up here. No, that's not going to work at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about doing that stuff. I got a bunch of toothpicks right here, like I said, rounded toothpicks. They work really well. And all you're going to do, and I'm going to even break them a little bit because, supposedly in half, but, you know, if you don't, that's okay. Because you don't want to go too deep in there. What it might end up doing is pushing the blocks apart if you've glued them, or even if you haven't, like the one I was showing you how to do earlier without doing them individually. It might just break them off, which can be fixed, but whatever works better for you to start off with. So first you have to decide which end you want to go up. I'm going to do this one. It ended up being slightly irregular, a little bigger at the bottom, but it won't be too noticeable when I have terrain and wreckage built up around the base. Plus it'll make it a little sturdier. So all you're going to do is into the bottom, poke a little hole, just like that, and then I turn it around, put the flat end in. I want to make sure that it goes in so there's enough room where when you put it in here, it sticks in, and boom. Like, if you don't need glue right now, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would do it anyway just to be safe. Then you get to decide which end looks coolest. I think I'm probably going to do it like that and keep like some of the more extreme damage to the back. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to poke the hole, pull it out, spin it around. I don't know why I'm being frugal with toothpicks. I have like 7,000 of them. And then I'm going to poke it in right there so I have part of my archway. And then what I can do is I can, like I said before, move it in and out before gluing. And it should be all set like that. And then what I'm going to do now is build a separate archway and connect them at the top or near the top. But what I'm going to show you to do really quick, and I did it a little bit off camera, so I want to show you before, is how to do things like this is one of my bigger columns, and you see like a big busted up brick on top. And I tried to go for like a natural rock. No! A natural rock right here. And what I did really is I built a solid brick. This is one of the ones I was working on earlier. And I cut it in half, like a little lightsaber ninja cut there. So this one can go on the ground, almost like it used to be part of here. And then the other one I'm going to glue right on the top somewhere to make it look like over time it just kind of snapped and fell. Except these are glued together here. But this one I didn't glue yet. And I'm going to show you how to do that really quick so you can have cool rocks. This is going to be kind of the same thing that we're going to do around the edges, but we're going to do that a lot bigger. So I'll show you how to do it with a smaller piece. I think this is one of the ones I didn't like from earlier that I threw away. So I'll show you how to do that. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to get it. You're going to take your cutters. This one at least didn't crap out on me just yet. And you're going to do a cut, like I said, a little lightsaber straight down the middle ninja cut. So these things could go boom right on the ground like that, or you do whatever you need to do. But all you do, really, sometimes you can even use your fingers if you have a softer foam, but that's a little bit more rare, is you take your hobby knife and you start to, like, kind of nick into it, and then grab the other end with your thumb and just kind of, like, pull it off. And it kind of gets you, like, this nice natural chip, because what it's doing is chipping. So you kind of get, like, this natural kind of thing. And then when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it all, you can start pulling it off with your finger. And, you know, if it looks kind of awkward, like, see how it has a little hook at the end, you can just kind of pull that whole piece off. It always works better if you angle up a little bit more. That's just how rock falls. It usually chips and falls off. That's how gravity works. Because if you do it down, it looks kind of awkward unless it's supposed to be hanging from something, but this isn't how that works. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of like natural chipping right there. It ends up looking really good when you do it on a big scale, but even on a small scale, when you paint it up, it'll work pretty well. And then what you can do is easily place it, like if you show here, this is one I already did. Actually, I might like this one better because it's a little bigger. Is put it down, and then it looks like the broken pillar top right there. And because we made it out of a separate block, it has a nice flat side. It has those angled edges, which I would probably be sanding down if I used it. And you placed it right on top there, and it fits really nicely and looks like a broken brick. Then to add a little bit of character, what I'm doing with this piece that I was using it as an example is I'm putting it right next to it as though it just kind of tumbled off. Whether it was from that block or one of the ones above it, as you can see, that one's much taller. And it's got the broken piece at the top. You can see this is how I finished weathering this one. Some of them kind of look the same like those, and I did that kind of on accident, so guess what? It's going in the back. Haha, no one can see it. And then, like I said before, we're going to do the water effects to kind of fill in all the green and everything. But this is how this is looking so far. I might even end up angling those in so it looks a little bit more circular. Got some cool Lord of the Rings music playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. And then I'm just going to kind of throw those pieces around. Of course, the edges, like I said, and I keep telling you I'm going to show you, but I promise I will. The outside edges of the huge bits of rock that we're going to be using all that pink foam for, that's going to go around the edges. So what I'm going to do, and you can kind of see a little bit how this is coming together. That one's not done yet. It's kind of coming together. It's got that pseudo weather top look. I think I keep calling it Amon Hen. I'm pretty sure it's like Amon Sul or something like that. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and I keep screwing that up. I guess I just need to hobby less and sleep more. Who knew that hobbying could be detrimental? I'm joking. It's not. I'm just dumb. Okay, so can take a break. I'm going to finish up the archways up there. I'll probably cut out all the pieces, and right before I glue them all together, I'll show you guys exactly how I did it and what they look like before I glue them together. Because doing pieces, like archways that are actual individual bricks, can be pretty easy, and you can just Google, like, the Roman aqueducts and get to see what that looks like, and it's fairly simple and easy to do. But what I'm going to be doing is one a little bit, and I'll come over here and show you, is a little bit more similar to this, where there's some bricks going on. I don't know how well you guys can see that. There's some brick, there we go, zooming in. There's some bricks going on, but it's pretty intense and detailed. So what I'm going to have to do, and again with that big rock at the top, is I'm going to end up having to do most of that by hand instead of doing them separately, like I'm doing with a lot of the other blocks. So it'll end up being a solid piece that I carve out individually. Luckily, this didn't crap out on me because that's where that's going to come in handy. Of course, the hobby knife. Screw you, broken wire cutter. And then we'll make cool archways. These, like I said, are supposed to be giant archways that I'm going to make. They're not going to be complete at all. In fact, I'm kind of liking the way it's looking right now, and it leaves it a little bit more open at the top. So I'm probably going to do most of the closure with these to make it kind of like looming overhead, but we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything here, but I might maybe just like put these bricks here. That doesn't look too shabby. Maybe upturn this one so it looks like it used to be a... Yeah, that looks kind of cool, kind of like a Stonehenge deal. But I don't know if I'm going to do it. I might just not do anything at all. So we'll see how that works out. And thank you guys again for tuning in. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit.